Addressed an issue where no power kicks would land at spots in front of the landing zone that were difficult for the kicking team to recover. It's fixed an issue with outside deep fourth defenders biting down on return routes instead of staying deep. Fixed an issue where deep zone defenders would not keep depth when they had no receiving threat in their zone and would allow post routes from the other side of the formation to get behind them. If you guys are looking for fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins, check out my sponsor at MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT to get 5% off your order. Link in the description below. The champ is here! Welcome back, Money Team. This is Mad Money Shot, sniffing out the Madden cheese as always. That's right, we got a huge update today. 2.5 gigabytes of information was added to the game, so I'm going to go over the patch notes because this is the first time since October 16th that they actually released some patch notes. But if you guys want me to continue to do these update videos, as always, please make sure to be a subscriber, hit the like button, let me know in the comment section. If you guys need more help or more money plays, you can download any of my ebooks instantly simply by clicking links in the description or the top pinned comment. Now, I'm going to start off here with one that we all knew was coming. We're going to do the gameplay section first. The biggest one that they're leading off with is the Saquon Barkley backwards hurdle. We all knew they were going to add it in the game after it happened. I know I had some people in my comment section hating on me for being an Eagles fan and thinking that I was going a little bit too much, but it was a huge play. It was an amazing play. Nobody's ever seen nothing like that. Well, now it's in the game. The hard part, though, is triggering this to actually happen. It's going to be somewhat rare. I'm going to go over the criteria because it's pretty lengthy. It says, triggering the Saquon spin hurdle. To trigger the spin hurdle, the ball carrier must be Saquon Barkley, meaning only he can do it. The defender must be incoming from a 45-degree angle in front of the ball carrier. The defender must be within a close proximity to the ball carrier, and the user must press the hurdle button with the right timing. So I don't know how often you're going to be able to actually pull this off. You might rarely see this in gameplay, considering that it only happens with Saquon Barkley and all the criteria involved. But it'll be cool. I'm going to try to do it for the thumbnail. If I can't do it for the thumbnail, then what it is, what it is. Next up, we says addressed an issue where users were able to create illegal formations by motioning the tight end after an audible. It says dev note, the tactic was most effective when having the offense audible into formations like trips TE or bunch TE. Users could motion the tight end over to the same side as the trips receivers and create offensive overloads. The formations created were not legal formations, and this functionality has been removed. So basically what they were doing is they were motioning across the tight end to basically get like 4 wide to one side, which is something that does exist in the game in empty formations, but that's obviously if you do that, it's a lot. It can really mess with matching coverages and stuff like that, especially things like cover 4. Having 4 receivers to one side can definitely be an issue. Now they also fixed some embarrassing functions like the QB walking through the center on quarterback kneel plays, where you're basically in victory formation. It says the quarterback is now in the correct position to start and walks into the correct position behind the center, where before I've seen this in videos, he was walking through the center. So yeah, that definitely doesn't look good. It says fix the defensive end lining up in the same spot as the defensive tackle in the 4-3 over solid formation. Once again, most likely 2 players phasing into one another, just like the quarterback thing. It says addressed an issue where no power kicks would land at spots in front of the landing zone that were difficult for the kicking team to recover. So I guess they're talking about Scum Kicks because that's something that's been in the game, been for a very long time. It says dev note, there has been a change made to kick power and ball placement, so no power kicks will now fall short of the landing zone. There will need to be at least 25% power for the ball to make it to the landing zone, so it should fix Scum Kicks, but they've been trying to fix this for years, so I wouldn't be surprised either way if it's still, the community finds a way to get around it, but it should fix the current issue. Now it says fix an issue with outside deep fourth defenders biting down on return routes instead of staying deep. So that's something that when it comes to one-play touchdowns, a lot of people will put like comeback routes on the one side, a crossing route, can't get over the top. So basically cover 4, and it just says cover 4 outside. It says outside deep fourth defenders. So that means that cover 4 match, cover 4 drop should both be affected by that, but it's definitely going to make that a better defense, as it should change a lot of the mez when it comes to actual one-play touchdowns when it comes to that, as you're now probably going to have to split the safeties over the middle, which is something that's pretty rare. Now it also says fix an issue where deep zone defenders would not keep depth when they had no receiving threat in their zone and would allow post routes from the other side of the formation to get behind them, which basically means that if you have a three wide receiver set to one side and there's just like a tight end on the other side blocking, a lot of times the cornerback on the other side wouldn't drop back, where now you're going to need a route to at least pull that cornerback down. It also says fix an issue where deep third defenders in prevent defense were not all staying deeper. It sounds like there were some serious issues with these deep defenders, considering it says we're not staying deep in prevent defense. We're all not staying deeper than the deepest across the field. So basically, once again, there's depth issues and people were getting behind prevent defenses the same way people were getting behind cover 3 and cover 4. So they put a lot of effort into fixing that. It says fix an issue where the deep inside fourth safety would leave the slot receiver unguarded going vertical in the empty bunch verticals play. Now, this is something that I've said in a lot of videos. Anytime your opponent's running cover 4 quarters or cover 4 match, you can run an empty formation and just make sure that all 5 receivers are going over 10 yards in varying ways, and you can always get somebody open free. So they fixed one play, but I doubt that they fixed the ability to beat cover 4, especially when it comes to cover 4 match, when it comes to empty formations, because it's just the easiest way to beat that. But it says that they did fix it specifically for this one play. Now it says fix an issue where the inside deep fourth safety allowed the slot receiver in bunch formations on a streak to run past him for a touchdown. Once again, there's, like I said, there's a lot of easy ways to do that, but they're addressing specific plays rather than the overall issue, which is that the zone defenders don't match that fifth receiver fast enough. So it should still be an issue, but fix an issue where the seam flat defenders in the dime 1-4 FC zone blitz play we're not covering the correct sides of the field against gun bunch, strong nasty motion curls play. Like I said, they're more interested in fixing individual plays than the actual overarching issues when it comes to these type of defenses. It says alignment improvements in cover 4 quarters, palms, cover 6 where the outside deep fourth, quarter flat, and 3-rec hook triangulate their positions against bunch receivers to handle first inside and first to flat and deep threat. So like I said, a lot of additions to defense, a lot of fixes, especially when it comes to matching, because all 3 of those are matching defenses. And I think a lot of people complain that the last patch, especially to cover 4, actually made it worse. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, because I did notice that it's different, but it just feels like a different flavor. I don't think it's necessarily worse. It just felt like they just changed the formula and still has issues. It's just there's slightly different issues. But to me, cover 4 improved in the last patch, and I'm sure it improved in this one as well. Next up, it says fixed an alignment issue where defenders were lining up in the wrong position in nickel 3-3 odd pinch 0, allowing the middle slot receiver to be left unguarded in empty sets. And this is something that I mentioned in a lot of videos as well, where it just feels like they're missing the man align function. A lot of times, especially when like the play art doesn't show up, and this may be more in college than Madden, but sometimes you try to show the play art and it just like glitches out. You don't see who man defenders are covering, and a lot of time receivers just left running wide open. So that's something that sounds like they're still trying to address. It says fix an issue where outside cornerbacks and inside cornerbacks would align side by side against a nub set tight end aligned next to the offensive tackle with no receivers outside of the tight end. So a lot of alignment issues. Like I said, it really sounds like they try to address some of the worst things when it comes to defensive coverages. But you know, we'll see what happens with that. Now, there was a lot of superstar and X Factor changes. We have some updates to that. We're going to go over that next. It says new X Factor players. CJ Stroud, who really isn't having that great of a year, in my opinion. Nico Collins, who is one of the best receivers in the league right now. Aiden Hutchinson, who got hurt but definitely deserves the upgrade because he was playing really good before that happened. Antoine Winfield Jr., one of the best safeties in the league. And Quinnen Williams, one of the best defensive tackles in the league. It says new superstar players. Jaden Daniels is already on the list, having a monster rookie year. Baker Mayfield definitely deserves that. Alvin Kamara, Malik Neighbors, also having a great rookie year. Alvin Kamara got his back. I don't know if he had his a while ago. I think he lost it. Xavier McKinney also having a great year. He was leading the league in interceptions for a while. Chris Olave, Nnamdi Matabuke, Jalen Johnson, L'Jarius Sneed, Christian Darrisaw, Joe Thuney, Alex Highsmith, Chavarius Ward, Rashawn Slater, Trey Smith, CJ Mosley, Jordan Mailata. Nice to see him join the list. I did see that before I actually did this list, by the way. Trent McDuffie, Brandon Aubrey, which is interesting, Garrett Wilson, and Tariq Woolen all got X Factor or new superstar abilities. So you have to check that out and actually see what any of them are. If you guys want to see me do a full video of what the new superstar abilities are, let me know. But you'll have to check that out by looking at them on the roster. Downgraded players, lots. We have Tre'Davious White, Jalen Hurts downgraded, despite the fact he's on a 6-game win streak, and I think one stretch was leading the league in touchdown score, I think, for like 4 or 5 straight weeks. He got downgraded to, I think he's just a regular X Factor now, or maybe a superstar player, excuse me, because I did see he still has superstar abilities. Darius Slay, I did see he was also a superstar because I'm an Eagles fan. I looked at their roster. Mark Andrews, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Mike Williams definitely deserved it. Jordan Poyer, Trevor Lawrence, definitely. Zadarius Smith, DeAndre Swift, Kyron Williams, who I thought was having a pretty decent year. Raheem Mostert, Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if he doesn't seem like he has anything now. Josh Jacobs, Tyron Smith, Chase Young, Stephen Gilmore, and Austin Eckler. Now, there's also a lot of new face scans on players. Javarius Ward, Ramondre Stevenson, Jake Ferguson, Tyson Campbell, Paulson Adebo, Martin Emerson Jr., Nick Ballore, Jalen Warren, T. Higgins, Joey Porter Sr., Quentin Williams, Charles Woodson. That must be what's that about? That must be for a mutt. Unless there's somebody else named Charles Woodson I'm not aware of. Ryan Kelly, and new generic head for Jets coach, who currently, I don't even know who the coach is because their coach for the season got fired. Now, there's been a lot of updates to playbooks as well. Added plays to nickel over in the following playbooks: 4-3, 4-6, cover 2, multiple D, 49ers, Bears, Bengals, Browns, Chiefs, Colts, Commanders, Jets, Jaguars, Packers, Saints, and Texans. The nickel over Ed Blitz 0, Edge Blitz 3, nickel over FS Will Blitz 0, nickel over Cover 3 Buzz Mabel, nickel over Sim Pressure 3. These are all plays I think that are available in other playbooks from a previous update. It also says added plays to the nickel 2-4 of the following playbooks: 3-4, Broncos, Bucks, Cardinals, Chargers, Dolphins, Falcons, Giants, Lions, Patriots, Raiders, Rams, Ravens, Seahawks, Titans, and Vikings. The nickel 2-4 has the Edge Blitz 0. The nickel 2-4 has the Edge Blitz 3, the FS Will Blitz 0, Cover 3 Buzz Mabel, which is something that they put in the game recently as well, Sim Pressure 3, double bracket, 1 double wide receiver bracket, and 1 double wide receiver bracket 2. So those are just, they're doubling receivers. Also says, Dev note, we unintentionally omitted some plays from the previous Gridiron notes. These plays were added to the nickel 53 odd in a previous update. The Hot Blitz Bail, double bracket, cover 6 Willie, 1 double wide receiver 1, cover 4 Palms, 1 double wide receiver 2, Tampa Sim Pressure, Tampa 2 drop and cover 9. It says added new plays to the run and shoot playbook. Pistol spread, I'll show these up on the screen. Speed option, wide zone weak, pistol trips open, Houston mesh in Houston. Gun spread, 90 cube, RPO wide receiver screens, RPO alert bubble. Gun trips slot close, blast Georgia mesh speed option. Gun trips, blast Georgia, and Georgia mesh. So lots of new plays that sounds like they might have came from college, which is something I expect. There's a lot of really creative and new plays in college that I think eventually will get added to Madden, because that's kind of been the trend in the NFL, where they take a lot of stuff or they borrow a lot of stuff from college. So I kind of see that being the case. It says franchise mode, address crash, and this is something where I know it needs a lot of work. It says address a crash when users are creating a new offline league using the active roster entry point. That's something that, there's a lot of issues with franchise. Fix an issue where the hub timeline doesn't display final scores during the playoffs. Resolved mismatches between player traits on the player card and edit player screen. Corrected commentary errors and presentation issues when using a team builder team that referred to an incorrect Bears versus Bears matchup. Address franchise setting issues with draft timer and adjusting depth charts when both settings were set to off / manual. Now, that doesn't sound like enough fixes for me. I'm sure you guys in the comment section will let me know if it needed more, but I do think that there was more that was needed. Now, Superstar Mode, PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC only. It says fix an issue where the cap would not be present in some plays. Updated default difficulty settings. It says vanity, snowman helmets, and candy cane capsule. It must be something for Christmas. NFL authenticity. It says gear. You got the Zenith Orbit helmet and masks, Light Gladiator helmet and masks, Vapor Edge 360 untouchable cleat, the Nike Vapor Knit 4 gloves. You got just some stuff like that. I'm not really huge into to the actual uniforms. I don't know how much people get into this stuff, but It says Jordan Vapor Knit 4 gloves, Nike D-Track or D-Tac field goal gloves, and the C-Patch updates for multiple teams. So if you like to dress your players, how you want to dress your players, there are some new options. Now, me personally, I don't think this was enough with all the issues that they were having, but I'm glad that they definitely addressed the defense. But I do think that there was a lot of people that were complaining about franchise issues. So let me know in the comment section if there's still some issues that you don't think that were addressed. On that, I'm going to end the video. If you guys want to see more Madden content, I do, now the defense is looking a little bit better, I do plan on fixing some things and maybe playing a little bit more Madden content. So make sure to be a subscriber for that. Other than that, thanks for watching, man. My shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.